Welcome back to the next chapter in our story, and we start with getting that ham, though I do not think we need
You
it.
take the ham from the dining table.
Did ourselves, and we go this way. So far, I do not think. I think that the library maid can help us.
You see a young woman sitting on the dusty floor. She has a book in her lap entitled Little Red Riding Hood.
I wish I could read this story. All the pretty words. Whatever do they say? The pictures look interesting, but what is this book about? I wish I could
year
read this
on.
story.
A young woman sits on the dusty floor. She is reading, or trying to read, a book entitled Little Red Riding Hood. Aside from the pictures, she does not appear to be comprehending the content at all. 3 candelabras provide some welcome illumination in this otherwise dark and dismal castle. Some children's storybooks have been stacked on top of one another.
All the
Fiction
pretty
and fairy tale
words.
books are strewn all over the floor. Some children's fiction and fairy tale books are strewn all. If you want to introduce yourself, just talk to her.
Whatever
Hey,
do they
control-
say? The pictures look interesting, but what is this book about?
I'll save because it's funny.
Perhaps you should first try talking to her before offering her things.
I wish I
The book
could
tells
read
the
this
story of a young girl who met a wolf in the forest.
The young woman's head snaps up. Her black eyes drill into your own. You gasp as you realize you are looking at yet another vampire. Just how many has the count made tonight?
Another
The young woman's
vampire?
lips transform from hungry to, fortunately, pleasant recognition.
So you are the guest of my grandfather's house. I was hoping I would meet you again.
The woman is startlingly beautiful, but in an eerie, unnatural way. You find yourself unable to speak for a moment. She does look somewhat familiar, but from where?
Oh, my handsome gentleman does not recognize me?
Should I?
You remember the basket, the soup?
Possum?
With a start, you recognize the young woman. She's grown and matured considerably since you last saw her. The little girl, Possum, has been transformed completely into this. She has traded her small ruby cloak for a dazzling satin robe of the same color.
Are you unhappy with my appearance?
No, it's just that you have me at a disadvantage. I do not know your real name.
Anastasia.
A beautiful name.
Yes, 'twas one of the few things my parents left me before they died. They're probably buried somewhere on this island, as a matter of fact. What do you seek here?
You explain your so far unsuccessful attempt to locate the tiara. The young woman looks thoughtful for a moment, then suddenly snaps her fingers. A discarded pile of books shift aside from the floor, and a single black book is revealed underneath. She appraises the black book with indignant incomprehension, then holds it out towards you. You take the book from Anastasia's hand.
I do not suppose that has anything to do with it, but it must be about something important.
In her new form, the youth potion would have no effect on her. Her tastes. A lovely gesture, but you should hang on to them. This black book is entitled Sleepy Hollow. It feels lighter than its size would suggest. This black... You open the book and are surprised to discover not pages, but a hollowed-out section in which sits a silver key. The key's handle resembles the shape of a sleeping child. There also appears to be something written on the back cover of the book.
Yes, I thought that might interest you. Fancy putting something like that in a book. Who ever heard of such a thing?
You'd be surprised, actually. I once found a magic bowl in the middle of a forest.
How odd.
Not so odd as seeing leprechauns flee from a tiny plant.
She knows what it is. In the hollow, you can see that the inside back cover has been written on. Some words have been scrawled onto the paper. They are faded, but still mostly legible. The writing scrawled on the back cover reads, "If treasure you seek, dear to my heart, tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the beauty with stepsisters too, then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those two star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours, though get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by Mars."
The book contains instructions, but instructions pertaining to what, I wonder?
Read it to me.
You do so.
Why, it's the bookcase, silly. It tells you how you'd find a book from there. You have to simply follow the directions. I am sure you will figure it out.
What is Mars?
Like that.
You will not bother me, seeing as how I am not at all appetizing to him. You, on the other hand, will be precisely his cup of tea.
Well, I better
Anastasia's
be careful,
face
then.
lights up suddenly.
If you want, I can make you like me. That way, you'd be saved.
It would have sounded to you like a generous, innocent suggestion from a sweet girl, if it did not involve large losses of essential bodily fluids on your part. You politely decline the offer. You have nothing else. The young woman is stunningly beautiful. In her face there are traces of the little girl she once was. You wonder if that innocence has also survived the transformation. You have a strict and simple rule about vampires. Unless you want to donate some blood, do not touch. You have a strict...
Let's see. The first was
In the hollow, you... The writing scrawled on the back cover...
let's see, that's Cinderella. The Three Little Pigs. is Little Boo P. And then we count Rumpelstiltskin. And we end with Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
A new book has appeared on the third shelf down. You've located the correct book. You pluck it from the shelf and read its title, Treasure Island. What is this? There seems to be a lock binding the cover shut. The keyhole requires a small, thin key. She can't read, Graham. Don't taunt her. The key fits perfectly into the lock. You turn it and hear a soft click. The book is now open. Skimming through the book, you find that a map has been sketched onto the last page. Close scrutiny reveals it is a top-down layout of the castle and its surrounding grounds. According to this, the tiara has been buried near one of the graves. You shudder, hoping that this is not going to be a case of digging all night while trying to avoid unearthed zombies. There is also a small piece of writing near the bottom. A date of fate can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing. She can't... You have nothing? You have a strict and... Talking to yourself. Your status is king. It's you, king.
Well...
Hey, control yourself. You might have children someday, and they won't benefit from a father with embarrassing habits.
Now we know where to go. And... well.
I wish only one thing as payment for helping you find that book.
Of course.
Would you be so kind as to take this bracelet and place it on my mother's grave? I believe she wanted me to have it while I was alive. Now, it seems no longer appropriate to keep it. Thank you. I must retire now. It will not be long before sunrise. Good night, Graham.
Good night, Anastasia.
And I think we are now going to need to dig. Now we know where to go. That will we know more of in the next chapter.